would like to just say that I have not voted for a budget increase in 4 years, and I will not vote for a 4.87 whatever mill increase there is this evening. And I hope that some of the initiatives that are being worked on right now would come to fruition, and if they do, there's a good likelihood that the budget could come in. Most of the members of this board like to do a zero budget increase for millage. And if we get lucky and some of these come in, that's doable possibly, or at least maybe a one, no more than a two. But at this time, I would not be in favor of voting for the budget millage increase. Hearing no further discussion, we'll bring it to a vote. Mr. Warren, I'll do a roll call vote.
Mr. Bean? No. Mrs. Hutchinson?
No.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
No.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Tanlinger?
Yes.
3-3.
The motion is rejected on a 3-3 vote. We will now move to another motion. Is there another motion to put before the board concerning the adoption of the preliminary budget, or the proposed budget? There's a motion on the floor for the adoption of a preliminary millage increase of 4 mills, and it's been seconded. Discussion on the motion.
Let's call this number F3811, or unless, Sharon, you want to make it
3511?
F3511A. And we'll keep it right underneath F3511.
Okay. For housekeeping, that'll work. There's a motion and second for discussion on the floor of the board.
There's been a motion that the preliminary budget be at 4 mills, which would indicate that it would be a percentage increase of 5.8%.
I'd like to point out that with this, with 4%, we will have a balanced preliminary budget. Again, key word being preliminary.
Any more discussion on the motion? Mr. Marnell, proceed with the roll call vote.
Mrs. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
No.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Tantlinger?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes. Motion has passed.
The vote was 5-1 in favor of the motion. Motion F35-11A has passed. Mr. Tanner.
Jim, would you fill in the numbers on F3511A, the total appropriations, ending fund balance?
We would be using the scenario sheet that has the circle 3 on it, that shows the 4 mil increase. So the total estimated general fund revenues and other financing sources available for the 2011-2012 school year will be $25,587,044. And the total appropriations and estimated ending fund balance for the 2011-2012 school year would be $25,587,044. That would leave a projected estimated ending unreserved fund balance a year from now at $486,143. That would be currently a projected surplus between revenues and expenditures of $163,258.
Thank you. Moving on, I make a motion for F3611.
So motion and second for F36-11. Is there any discussion? Oh, okay, it's not on everybody's, I guess, because there's an addendum. And it would be the approval will be given to contract with Piper Jaffray and Company Investment Banker for the bond refinancing per the attached. And that's F-36-11. Is there any discussion?
The attachment is a resolution indicating that the district is contemplating the refunding of certain prior debt obligations, and that the district requires an analysis of its present debt and reimbursement structure and potential debt service benefit to be derived from the refunding of the bond issue. And based on those premises, it's now therefore resolved by the governing body of the district, which is, of course, the school district, that the district would retain Piper Jaffray and Company Investment Banker to complete an analysis of its present debt and reimbursement structure, and to present to the district on such date and within certain parameters as determined by the district a bona fide proposal for the refunding of the certain outstanding debt obligations. All expenses incurred by Piper Jaffray and Company in connection with the development of such plan are the responsibility of Piper Jaffray and Company, with the exception of the underlying rating of the district as provided by Standard & Poor's Corporation. And the Piper Jaffray would not have responsibility for that expense unless an actual financing occurs. And that would be then resolved this day and date by the district.
I'd also like to make a comment that this board was charged by the citizens and by the administration to look for sources of income that would help us out in this very dire financial straits. Mrs. Schaefer, as her board member, did her due diligence and was in conversation with a friend who said, oh, well, you know, your bonds are coming due. And we've been working on this too since probably back November, Jim. And so we were aware they were due, but we found out that we were able to do these bonds after June 1st and that they would have substantial savings to the district, which in the amount, the final amount as of the day we looked at was $290,000. Now that's not small money. That's something that helps balance this budget. We were able to put $225,000 in conservatively to get that in this the budget. So